Hey guys, so this is for 7th and 8th grade math, and Miss Oaks and I are going to tag team this. So we're going to look at two-step equations, which if you've just watched Coach Cygrus, then you kind of got a little bit of an introduction into that. I'm going to break it down and make it as simple as possible for you guys, okay? So if you have a two-step equation such as 2x plus 3 equals 9, the first thing you have to do is you need to isolate your x. Well, how do you isolate your x? In this time of COVID, we all know what isolation means. You got to get your x by itself. So, get rid of your constant. Here, our constant is a positive 3. You have to do the inverse of that. So, you're going to subtract the 3. Right? Remember, I tell my students it's like a scale. You got to keep it balanced. So, if you do it on one side, you got to do it to the other. So if I subtract 3 here, subtract 3 here. All right, remember this equal sign makes the two sides of your equation. So now I have 2x, just bring it straight down, all right, equals 9 minus 3. Y'all don't forget your sign rules. If your signs are different, you have to subtract. 6, all right, so now my equation is 2x equals 6. All right, the inverse of multiplication, remember this means multiply. So the inverse of multiplication is divide. So I'm going to divide it by 2. Remember, you divide one side by 2, you got to divide the other side by 2. So x equals 6 divided by 2 is 3. All right, so let's look at another example here. I have negative 2y minus 7 equals 3. Again, we got to get our variable by itself. It doesn't matter what your variable is. All right, we got to get the variable by itself. So I have to get rid of my constant. My constant here is negative 7. So I'm going to add 7, keep it balanced, add 7 here. All right, so now I have a simple equation. Again, you have to do the inverse, so I'm going to divide this by negative 2. Don't forget your sign rules. When you multiply and divide, if your signs are different, your answer is going to be a negative. I have a positive 10 and a negative 2, so my answer is going to be negative 5. We're going to take a look at one more. Miss Oaks is going to come up and she's going to kind of guide you guys through some more examples, and you're going to get some independent practice. So let's look at this one. I have 4 plus, I wanted to make sure I put a fraction in here because if you're one of my kids, I know that whenever you see a fraction, you are kind of freaking out. All right? Don't freak out over fractions. Same thing here, we got to get rid of our constant, which is 4. So subtract 4. Okay. It goes away. Once you do it on this side, keep it balanced, do it on this side. Okay. What do you notice about my signs? Signs are the same, so I'm going to add. So now I have 1/5 r equals negative 5. Okay. Remember inverse, this is multiplication. You can't divide fractions, so you have to multiply by the reciprocal. So then this changes to 5/1. That cancels out. Okay. If I multiply this side by 5/1, I have to also multiply this side by 5/1. Okay. Remember, whole numbers have that invisible 1 underneath them. Right? So I have r equals, signs are different. I have a negative here and a positive here. So my answer is going to be negative 25. Okay? All right, Miss Oaks is going to come up now. She's going to walk you through some examples. And if you're trying to refresh your memory, you need to probably be writing them down and walking through them with her.
Okay, hi guys. We're going to work a couple more examples with you. I'm going to pause and allow you time to kind of work through it and see if you can do some of it on your own a little bit. And then we'll come back and look at the solutions and then do, some independent practice. All right, so let's look at our first one. All right, here's your equal sign. Remember that Ms. Bulloch said that equal sign means both sides are balanced like a scale. So whatever you do to one side, you've got to do to the other side to keep it balanced. Our constant is a positive 2, so to get rid of it, we're going to put a negative 2 with it. What we do to this side, we have to do the same thing to the other side. Okay? So what's a positive 2 and a negative 2 together? That gives us 0. That's why that goes away. All right, so we still have a 3 in here, a positive 14 and a negative 2. Our signs are different, so we're going to subtract. The sign of the larger is positive, so a positive 14 and negative 2 is 12. The only thing left is an operation with multiplication. So to the inverse of that, to get rid of it, is division. Divide this side by 3, same thing on the other side. 3 divided by 3 is just 1 in, so we know we don't write the 1. And 12 divided by 3 is 4. Is that what you got? Good. All right, let's try another one. All right, let's look. This one looks a little bit different. Our term, we have 2 terms here. Our term with our variable is not the first one. All right, here's our equal sign. Got to keep it balanced. This time, 4 is our constant. It's the term that doesn't have the variable. That's a positive 4. To get rid of it, I'm going to put a negative 4 with it to make this 0. So put a negative 4 over here. What does that leave us here? This term goes away. We still have a negative 2y here. Don't lose that negative. Positive 7 and a negative 4 is 3. Divide both sides by negative 2. That divides out, gives us 1. But 2 won't go, negative 2 won't go into 3. We're going to leave it as a fraction. It is simplified. There's not a common factor for our 3 and our 2, so y equals negative 3/2. All right, we're going to try a couple of independent practice problems. I'm going to put them up here and we'll let you pause the video, and then we'll come back and look at the solutions. This one's a little more challenging, but Ms. Bulloch did one like this. So go back and look at your examples, and pause your video, and see if you can work it out. All right, hopefully you got it. Keep it balanced. Get rid of your constant. All right, multiply both sides by the reciprocal of our fraction. Divides out, that's 1x, and 3 over 1 times 4 over 1 is 12 over 1, or 12. All right, hopefully that's what you got. Let's try one more. Pause the video and work it out. Okay, ready? All right, here's our equal sign. Keep it balanced. This time you had a minus 5. So to get rid of that, we want to put a plus 5 with it. So this that's 0, so it drops out. A negative 21 and a positive 5. They're different signs, so we subtract, but our bigger number is negative, so that's going to be a negative 16. All right, and last step, you divided both sides by positive 2, and we get x equals negative 8 as our solution. Good job, guys.